Good evening. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. You like this little light here I put above my desk? It takes a couple batteries and it provides me a well-lit lighting space. Keeps me from having to use my headlamp. But check out this temporary solution idea. Look at this. Oh, ho! Oh my goodness! This is this guy. Somebody recommended it to Sister Kate on one of her live streams or something, and I think we just got online and ordered it from Amazon or something. We have bought several of them, and it's basically an LED rope light that I just kind of threw up around here. I'll do a better job later on that. But man, it makes a difference, doesn't it? So today, so that's what it's called. What do these cost, sweetie?
They weren't cheap, like 30.
$30, something. Today, I thought I'd do a little show and tell. Sister Kate and I took off this morning to go get chicken feed at TSC. Tractor Supply Company. Do y'all have one? If you don't have one, you're not rural enough. Here's a bag. Tractor Supply Company. So we went to get a chicken feed and some potting soil. She wanted some potting soil. And I've been working on a list for our clinic, our dispensary, not a CBD dispensary, a dispensary in the classical usage of the term. A field hospital is putting it a bit too, not quite that much, but we want to build, the Shofarians want to build field hospitals, field clinics, so that we have the ability to provide some form of medical aid better than a little first aid kit and clear the dining room table and lay the person on it, right? We want to think ahead a little bit. We don't intend for these things to replace modern medicine as long as modern medicine is available. But when it's not available, it's not available. And so you do the best you can with what you got where you're at. Well, as I wrote about and talked about today, most people, what they consider the best they can is not good enough. And so I have a list of things that I wanted to start getting for this clinic that we're going to build. And wouldn't you know it, there we are just walking around. Oh my God, we spent a lot of money at TSC today. We got more than just feed. Do you have that problem? We have that problem at TSC. Used to be China Mart, but we're trying not to go there anymore. And stores like that, you go in for one thing and you come out a couple $100s later. I mean, it's just like crazy. Anyway, without further ado, I thought I'd show you what we're getting. For now, I got an idea from, I think he's on here somewhere, NWA Prepper. He stores stuff by like items in clear bins. You know, this one's full of dressings, this one's full of bandages, this one's full of whatever. And we're starting to do that now. We don't have our clinic built yet, the building. But, you know, we can come at it from many different angles. And so one thing I'm doing is starting to get some supplies. So without further ado, the first thing I got was this right here. Povidone Iodine Wound Wash. Now this is for critters. You can use it on yourself. This is, people always ask me questions. And I don't know. Topical antiseptic. How strong is this stuff? 5%. Active ingredients, 5%. So it's fairly strong iodine spray. And then there's directions, and you know, we can get to those later, but right now we have it. And so we will store this, and we will have some gentle wound spray for the people. So that can go there. Then, whoa, yes, I got 2 bags of things. We got these 2 count I actually opened the box in the store, and it was kind of weird. They weren't packaged the same. They're syringes. One comes like this. One comes like this. And the reason I got these was for wound irrigation. You fill these up with a sterile fluid and then while you're cleaning out the cut, if you will, or the wound. And so we got 2 of those. Ta-da! And then I got 6, how many cc's? 3 cc syringes. These are this big. Can you see that? That big. 3 cc's. 6 of those. They weren't very much. Maybe $3 or $4, you know, for this box right here. And then, well, I guess you're not getting it in a logical order. I'm just going to pull it out. We got some ivermectin, you know, for the COVID, or for warming your horse, or your goat, or your dog, or yourself, or whatever. And we got some Pure Antel paste. What is this for, sweetie?
It's warmer.
Apple flavored. It's warmer. We're starting to accrue veterinary medical supplies for our animals, seriously. I mean, that's not like a tongue-in-cheek, I got fish antibiotics for our animals, to the point that we had it originally all in kind of like one toolbox, a big toolbox. We have more than that now, and I'm debating where we're going to put that. I kind of want to set up a little room, a little mini animal clinic, if you will, where we can logically store things. Because we have some gear for taking care of critters, but I'm talking people stuff now. Disposable scalpels. So they already come with a handle already on them. For veterinary use only, because they won't cut human flesh. 5 scalpels with number 10 curved blades, sterile. See? Nice. And so I've got 5 scalpels in here. I don't remember. Again, it wasn't a whole lot of money. And that's not saying this is all we're going to get. It's just, you know, we buy in bits and pieces because I don't have $1 million. And then this has nothing to do with it. That's just an actual TSC thing. That's for Sister Kate's duck house. And because I am a sucker, I cannot pass the seeds, and I just identified a place where I want to plant some heirloom squash today on our property. It's like, that would be good for squash. I bought those. I got another one too. And that's just bungee cords, which doesn't have anything to do with our clinic, because you're seeing everything we bought. Okay, here we go. Then I got 6 count of 3 cc syringes again. So we have double that. And then I didn't even know you could do that. I knew in the last couple of years, but before I kind of became a country boy, I didn't know you could buy syringes and needles. But heck, they give them away free in inner cities, so why shouldn't you be able to buy them, right? These were a little expensive, but see, they're little needles that go on our syringes. The little syringes. These are 22 gauge needles. We're going to get more. But again, we can't outfit the clinic all at once. Here's some more scalpels. I have no idea how good this is. It wasn't very expensive. It was like $5, so it's probably cheap. But it's not made in China. It's made in Pakistan. Okay, so we'll try it. I'll probably end up getting a real stethoscope or 3. But this was there, and I'm like, okay, we'll give it to the nurse practitioner or something. So we got that. Again, all this is at like your animal store. You know, TLC, more bungees, D-rings, and more dewormer of a different kind. So we got the worms treated. Really, those are for critters. I know you can use ivermectin for COVID or something. We didn't. Not saying we wouldn't, just saying that's not why we got it. We did get that for the vet supply stuff. And these are for the goats, these little snaplings. But yeah, I was kind of happily surprised at what we could get at the critter store, TSC, medical-wise. So it's something for you to think about. I've got a list, it's long, and I'll just let you in on some of it. I'm also buying, those of you in medical stuff, especially in hospitals, will know about it. They sell these surgical scrub brushes they come individually sealed in like a plastic wrap, and you pop that baby open. It has soft bristles on one side, a sponge on the other, so you can clean your dirty hands before you start using the scalpel on somebody, right? And I want to get a bunch of those, and I'm just shopping around for the best price on them to stock up the clinic with. And so that's one. Another thing on the list is, where is that list? I would tell you. I don't know. Another thing on the list that I just ordered today is Kerlix. Kerlix. It's a compressed, it's like gauze roll, and they come in different sizes. I just bought 100 of the 4.5 inch by 4 yards, and they're really good. We were trained in the early days to use them for like the exit wound on a gunshot. You just take a wad or two of that and you stuff it in there. And then, tape it and all that stuff. And it's just like a big sponge. But you can also wrap it around, and it's absorbent, and it holds stuff kind of like an ace bandage. Maybe it's old school. I don't know. But it's what I was trained to use in extreme conditions. And so I got 100 of those, which isn't very many. I mean, it sounds like a lot to those of you who just have a little Tupperware container first aid kit. But when you're thinking about treating injured people, it's really not that much, right? And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to afford to buy, a hospital's worth of stuff. I am really on the lookout for where I can buy. I've talked to you all about this before. No one's given me a really good idea yet. Example, Holiday Inn. You go to a Holiday Inn, that's like a mid-class hotel, right? It's not a flea bag hotel. It's not the Ritz. For sure. But the sheets are decent. They're decent sheets. They're not worn out and tattered sheets. So they must have, at hotels like that, a plan to get rid of their sheets and replace them on some kind of, continuing basis or something. I want to get a pallet of used hotel sheets. And then I want to cut some of them up into bandages and strips and dressings and things like that. I know, I don't really know the difference between bandage and dressing. I'll look it up. But that, right? And some you just cut it into squares or whatever. You could pre-sterilize some in a pressure cooker. It's like a, what do they call those things? Not a nebulizer. Oh, I had one. I had two on my Special Forces team. What do they call those things that's basically a pressure canner that you sterilize stuff with? Autoclave. You could do that and then seal them in food saver bags or whatever. Or you could just save them for later. But they're reusable in that you can wash them and boil them and dry them and have them again. Unlike this cling gauze, once that thing gets full of blood, you're really not reusing that. It's kind of nasty. But, it'd be a lot cheaper, right, to get the stuff. But we're on our way. We're doing the things. This is clearly not all we have. This is just what we got today. May give you some ideas. You may have some ideas that you can put in the comments down below. But the time to be ready for a disaster is before that disaster happens. And you just saw a taste in Texas of how fragile the system can be. I saw an article. I didn't read the article. I just read the headline that they were like minutes to a couple hours away from complete meltdown, disaster, whatever. You may need to be able to treat yourself perhaps medium to long term. Yourself, your people. TSC and stores like that might be an option for you to get supplies. All right, I hope that was useful. I know some of you have cool comments. All right, I'll see you out there.